Right, in order to be able to go to the next step up on subtracting mixed numbers, we need to know how to break a whole number down in order to include a fraction. Okay, we know that a whole cake, which is 1, which we can also write as a bar here, like this, can be broken up into different equal parts. So if I split it in 2 equal parts, mine don't look that equal. We have some equal parts here. We have a whole. If I split it into 2 equal parts, then we would have split them into halves. Okay, so this one cake is still the same size as this one, but I just split it into 2. I have 1, 2, 2 halves, 1, 2, 2 halves. So 1 whole equals 2 halves. Or if I split it into 3, then I have 1, 2, 3 thirds. Okay, so if I split it into thirds, I have 1/3, 1, 2, 3. I have 3 thirds. In the same way, I can be splitting my bar here. So my bar into 2 halves, a half and a half, 2 halves. A third, a third, a third. 3 thirds. Okay, or if it's quarters, there are 4 quarters. If it's fifths, there are 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have here quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. I split it into quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 of these. Make 1 whole. Okay, so 1 whole is the same as saying 2 halves, 3 thirds, 4 quarters. It's all the same thing. So we can write the whole really as, doesn't have to be fifths, quarters, thirds. It can be anything. 1 whole equals 5 fifths. If we're talking about eighths, 8 eighths. If we're talking about 15ths, 15 15ths. If we're talking about 23rds, we cut it into 23 equal pieces, and it's 23 of those. It could be 100 100ths. And if we look a little bit, if we think about what we did at the beginning of the year when we were doing Bottomers, the line means divide by. So if you think about it, 5 divided by 5 is 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 15 divided by 15 is 1, etc. So as long as the numerator is the same as the denominator, then that means that that must be equal to 1 whole. Okay, and how is this useful to us? If we have a whole number, like for example, we have the number 5, we know that 5 equals 4 plus 1. Elementary stuff, we already know that. So it equals 4 plus 1. If I split that in 2, it's 2 halves. So 4 plus 2 halves. So I've now split that 5 into a whole number and a fraction. Okay, or I can say 5 equals 4 plus 1. And here I'm going to split that 1 into thirds. So it equals 4 plus 3 thirds. Straight off I can say 5 equals 4 plus 8 eighths, for example, because 8 eighths is 1 and 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, so I can just drop it down by 1. So 5 wholes equals, drop it down by 1, 4 wholes plus a fraction. 8 eighths is 1. 7 equals 6 plus 1 whole. So 6 plus 8 eighths. 10 equals 9 plus 12 twelfths. 15 equals 14 plus 20 twentieths. Yes? Just drop it down by 1 whole and you can put anything here depending on what you need. In this case, we're just putting randomly We said 8 eighths, 12 twelfths, 20 20ths. Okay, so once we've understood that, we can then go to the next stage of saying 12 equals 11. If I wanted ninths, then I would have to put what on the top? 11 plus 1. How many ninths make 1? 9 ninths. Okay. If I had a 9, I know that's equal to 8 plus 1. 1 is 21 21st. So just make sure the top is the same as the bottom. Yes, the numerator and denominator are the same because that means 1. And that's all you need to know for now. Right. Thank you.